Let's get in shape. Happy New Year! And what better start of the year than sewing yourself a new gym outfit? I want to do a gym outfit with this lycra. I'm a bit scared of it, but I tried it yesterday and it was sewing fine, so let's hope everything goes right. It's a bit psychedelic, all these colors. It has purple, pink, and this sort of, I don't know, pattern print. And then it even has some golden tones to it. Thing is that I don't remember how much it cost, so one of the resolutions for the new year is going really wrong. But anyways, I want to make a pair of leggings and a top, a matching top, so let's see how we can do it. I have like 1.20 meters of material, more or less, and I think it will I think we can do it with that. I'm going to start with the leggings first, and of course I'm going to be using my trousers block and my bodice block later on if we have enough material. So let's get started. In our fabric of choice, we're going to cut the trousers panels, and we're going to start with the two back panels, sewing them right sides together along the center seam. Then we're going to face it against the front one and sew together, hem it and add an elastic band as a waistband. For the top, we're going to cut the same two pieces from our bodice block and sew them right sides together from the shoulders and the sides. Hem the neckline and the armholes and add an elastic band on the bottom to finish it. And one thing I really want to try, because I hate it when that happens, is to try to make the leggings without a seam on the front, because when it marks that area, apart from being a bit ugly, I don't like it, it's really uncomfortable to have a seam right in the middle of everything. I have my trousers block here, and one thing I was thinking about yesterday is that these blocks, not the bodice blocks, but these ones, have the ease. They have a few centimeters extra for ease, because you're moving your legs, you are bending knees, and if not, you won't be able to wear any kind of trousers with any fabric. You'll be stiff. One thing I was thinking is that I'm going to have to trace the pattern on paper, because that's going to change. I have to get rid of that ease and make a new one. And of course I have to make a new one for the front, because I want to make it in one piece. If this is my block, this will be this side. I'm going to get rid of the ease on the outside. Why on the outside? Because I think all these curves are really nicely traced and measured, and I don't want to mess with them, because I don't know if then it'll be tight somewhere else or loose or anything like that. So I don't want to touch any of that. I want to get rid of these on the outside. From the front panel, I'm going to take 1 centimeter, because it didn't have that much, but the back panel has a lot of ease. 2.5 centimeters, so I'm going to be doing that. And this is my new back panel with the 2.5 I'm going to take off. I thought it was easier to just trace the same and then take it off. And one thing you have to take into account is that you have to preserve all that curve. You have to do it the same. And to trace it easily, one thing you can do is to just put your old one on top, so you can move it and trace that line exactly the same. So that for my back panel. The front panel, what I want to do is to do it in one piece, like when you hang your clothes, that you see your trousers like that. So if I do it like this and just turn it around, I think I'm adding a lot of material here in the middle, and we don't want that. So what I'm going to do is to twist it a little bit and create a line here that joins these 2 points, the waist and the crotch. To trace it easily, I just help myself with one of the folding lines from the paper. And one thing I want to make sure to do is to mark the hip and crotch line to make sure where I have to take some centimeters off. And then once I had traced one side, I flipped it and traced the other, making sure those 2 points were joined together. This is the result. It looks a bit crazy, I think. The waistline, I didn't do anything to it, but just to trace a new line, a straight line on top from one side to the other. And as you can see, there is a lot of material here in between the 2 legs. So what I'm going to do, it is 7 centimeters. So I'm going to take off 3.5 centimeters on each side. Again, these are my conclusions. I'm not sure of what I'm doing until I cut the fabric and see what's happening. I'm going to use my French curve to trace the pattern, but if you don't have one, just be really careful when tracing. And now it's cutting time. I'm going to start with the back panel, placing them one up and one down so I can make the most of the fabric. These 2 back panels are the ones I'm going to sew first, right sides together along the back seam. All this curve with a zigzag stitch and a plastic foot. This is my seam. I didn't have any problem sewing stretchy material, so let's see if we can keep it that way. And now what I'm going to do, now that I have my front and my back panel, I'm going to put them right sides together, pin it, so I can sew from crotch to one ankle and from crotch to the other. So the seam is nice and neat, and then the side seams. I've tried it on. It's okay, I'm quite surprised, and the fun thing is that the front, as you can see, has no seams. So it's really weird when you see it on, but it's really cool as well. And now what I'm going to do is to hem it. I'm going to do simple hem because these materials don't unravel. So I'm just going to fold once and then zigzag stitch all around the ankles. I'm going to add an elastic band on the waistband, and I chose this really white one because of the material. It has this sort of 80s vibe, so I thought that a white elastic band also did really well. If I don't like it, I can always fold it in once it's on. So what you have to do is just measure with your waist or where your trousers come up to, and I'm going to make a ring, zigzag stitching this bit, and then add it to the top of the trousers and zigzag stitch all around as well. And this is it for the pair of leggings. I'm quite pleased with it. I haven't had any problems at all while sewing, and I quite like it with the waistband seam. But anyways, you can even fold it in once you have it on. You can fold it in and the design isn't altered at all. Instead of a high waist, it's a lower waist, and it looks nice anyways. It doesn't go anywhere, so that's quite good. And now with the bodice. This is the amount of material we have for the top. So I have my bodice block. I'm not going to leave any darts, of course, because it's a stretchy material and I don't think it needs any seam allowance, not much seam allowance. So I'm going to just do a crop top with a widened shoulder, and it will come below the bust with another waistband to go with the trousers. So let's see how we do. I'm going to sew this right sides together along the shoulders and the sides. Once the shoulders and the sides are sewn together, we can now hem it all around the neckline and the armhole areas. You can do a double hem, but again, this material doesn't unravel, doesn't fray at all, so you can leave it as a simple hem. This is how we're doing. It's a simple top. Having had more material, I would have liked to have it double, so I could have done invisible seams underneath. But anyways, it's just to make the most of our piece of remnant. What it is going to have, it's not thick, a wide waistband, well, wide band, elastic band on the bottom of the top. So what I just did is that I've measured myself and cut the amount I need. I'm going to sew it together with a zigzag stitch like I did before, and then sew it to the right side of the top. And this is my little outfit. I quite like it. I think the print is really fun and the elastic bands go really well with it, with this sort of 80s vibe. Of course, the top is quite simple. It has nothing to it, but I didn't have any more material to do anything more complicated. But I'm really happy about how the trousers turn out, because there's no front seam, so you don't get this mark over here, and it's not uncomfortable at all, so I quite like that. And the waistband, if you don't like it, or if you want to change one day, you can fold it in and it stays in place evenly. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know down in the comments what you thought, and don't forget to subscribe if you're not already. I would really appreciate it. It helps the channel a lot, and that way you don't miss anything next week. Bye!